Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Holland, Michigan, Lake Michigan. We're here for the Gl52 Summer Series, first regatta, the Big Red Regatta. We're just outside here in the big Lake Michigan, and waiting for the breeze to pick up. And so I figured why we were here. My name is Farley Fontenot. I'm from Quantum Sales. While we're here, we'll look at some of the boats and let you know who the players are so that when you see the start later on, you'll have an idea of who you're actually watching. As we pan around close, we have the Wizard. The Wizard is Katana, owned by John Hune, who from the St. Louis area. They're winning the regatta right now, sailing really well. They're the dark boat with the red lettering. On board is Morgan Trubovich, one of the great Kiwi trimmers, and Morgan Larson from the University of Hawaii, who's had a great career in pro sailing and one of the better pro racers in the world. Mockingbird, the dark black boat with the white sails, is owned by Chris Duhan out of the Chicago area. He has on here Joachim, let's just call him Joachim because I can't pronounce his last name. But a great tactician from Europe. He also has Tom Powley from New Zealand, Dave Tank, a local favorite, doing the bow. Natalie J, another local favorite from the area, owned by Phil and Sharon O'Neill, driven by their son-in-law, Board Glory, who is a world champion in the Moth. They also have on board the sailmaker Brett Jones from down in Florida. They have David Schreiner, who's also a sail designer for Quantum Sales, and George Pete. Prospector, owned by Larry Landry and Paul McDowell from the New York area. Not their first regatta. They come back again. We saw them a little bit last year. They have Terry Glacken, and calling tactics for them is the owner, Larry Landry. WinQuest, driven this week by Dalton DeVos, owned by Doug and Dalton DeVos, is a local boat right from this area. On board is Mike Mininger from American Magic. They also have Nikolai Shefta who is the driver of the Denmark Sail GP boat, and from American Magic from American Magic is Anderson Reggio, who is the navigator. And I think we'll see if we got them all. That could be all of them. So we will see you guys out on the start here shortly. Our race is to start at 12:30, and we'll see you then. Hi, welcome back to the race course. We are under postponement. Right there, you know, the one thing we can't control about sailing is the breeze, which is the most important thing that we have in our sport. Um, so we are, as we're under postponement, we are waiting to hear from our race committee of when we're going to restart. It seems that we left off one boat that I want to bring up, and that is a Heartbreaker owned by Bob and Laura Hughes from the Grand Rapids area. Quite impressive crew with Paul Goodison and Waddy Goods, both from American Magic. Kyle Langford, who is also a veteran America's Cup and also doing on Sail GP Team Australia. And last, we got Mike Marshall from North Sails. The boat is going really well, and in the fight, as the scores, and you can go onto our Gl52 webpage and you can see the results. The Katana has a very good lead, but it is a very tight four-boat race for second place. And so we will be watching those results and watching the interaction of those boats between each other while they're racing whatever races we get on today. So as we wait for the breeze, we will just sit and drift around, and we will back to you as soon as the breeze is up and we hear from Carol, our race committee, on when we're going to race. Thank you. Here we are at the start of race number 7. Welcome back. Boats are lining up. We have 2 minutes and 15 seconds to the start. We see Katana has just tacked over here on the right. You see her on starboard tack. We got the rest of the fleet coming in on port. There's a privateer. She's also tacking over, and Natalie J here on the bottom tacks. You'll see the Wizard right here coming into Natalie J as she tacks. Those two guys are going to fight it out for the pin. 1 minute and 38 seconds to go. We'll see the group begin to kind of line up on their final starboard tack. Everybody kind of jockeying to kind of press up to the boat above them and then try to build a hole beneath them. We got Mockingbird here on the far right next to Bob Hughes. Katana looking for a spot underneath the privateer, and there's a WinQuest. And down here at the bottom of the line, we have Natalie J fighting it out with the Wizard. Great little battle going on there. 1 minute to start. Boats are all lining up. Wizard kind of takes it down, trying to build some pace. Natalie J holds up to try to make sure her lane is held well. 40 seconds to go. Boats are now all sitting up, lining up, trying to get a hole underneath them so that they can build pace at the gate. We have the Mockingbird taking a short double tack here with 25 seconds to go. Here we go, 14 seconds. Big push down here. Wizard coming up hard. Natalie J coming up hard. 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great start. Natalie J is going to have to give the Wizard some room as she does it. Takes a quick action here, right here at the start. And you see WinQuest coming right up. WinQuest and Natalie J have both been called over early. Two boats around that screen. Again, Katana in the middle of the line with a great start, great hole underneath her. Bob Hughes, who did not get off the line well, just getting out on port. Natalie J coming around. WinQuest will duck the mark as she is now clear. Natalie J is still trying to get back clear. And now she too is clear. So this adds a little bit of excitement and flavor to the game, as now 2 of the 4 players who are fighting it out for second are over early. And it leads the rest of the fleet kind of on their own to get up the course. The fleet is split with the port starboard boats. We have 4 on port and 3 on starboard. We are now following the boats up, so we will see you guys at the weather mark and let you know how this whole beat fares out. Thank you. Here we are at the weather mark. A lot of the little complications that start at the start kind of rear their ugly head for some of the competitors. Katana continues to do a great job of leading the group in. She was one of the few boats that had a fair start. The beat was played up the left side, and so we have some boats coming in now late right, and the two boats that were over early, the Natalie J and the Windquest, are kind of following up, and Bob Hughes is right here in the lineup of 5 coming to the weather mark. As we come at the weather mark, we've got the Katana. Second is the Privateer, the Wizard, the Mockingbird, and the Heartbreaker. Right under that group is the Windquest, who's just now tacking over to get in, and the Natalie J coming up from the backup. So it's a pretty square lineup. Everybody's got a nice spot, straight in lineup. We'll round up. They went up in probably with their J15s, which is their medium jibs, and they go downwind. As always, whatever jib you go up with is probably the spinnaker. You'll use the same. So they go with their A15 spinnakers all the way down the run. See Katana approaching the offset mark, getting ready to set. Windquest coming in here right behind Bob Hughes. Now tacking over to starboard. Katana going up, the first is set. Right off the offset. Nice set. They've set great all week. They've been consistent, strong. They're always in the top group, and that's why they're winning this regatta by 10 points. Privateer, we haven't seen her in the front all weekend long, so a great beat by her. And Wizard, who's at one of the boats vying for that second place spot, in third. Mockingbird coming around. All boats are bearing away right now. No drive sets. Wizard, the Mockingbird having a tough time as her spinnaker came out of the headstay. There's the Heartbreaker, beautiful red streak, and the Windquest with their logo on the spinnaker. Natalie J coming around, knowing she's got a lot to catch up with. Mockingbird goes off on port, first boat on port. Great little sets by great sets by all boats. It's a good running. Now we're going to have to see who's going to perform well in light air downwind. We'll see you guys at the Leeward mark. Farley out. As we're approaching the Leeward mark here, Katana has maintained her lead with the Prospector very close behind. Coming from the downwind left, we have the Mockingbird and the Windquest. You know, the key for all these three boats that were over early is to basically to be very patient and take, one boat at a time. Katana now rounds the mark, heading up the upwind right. Prospector comes. Prospector around. Bob Hughes has had a really, really good run, passing up two boats. Well, maybe not. It's close. Prospector now runs. Oh, looks like the right gate, right turn. Prospector rounds the right gate, and Prospector rounds the right gate, and Wizard rounds the left gate. The Heartbreaker and Mockingbird fighting it off down here, with Mockingbird taking the right gate and both boats taking the left gate. You can see he didn't come all the way across. Heartbreaker rounds. There's a Mockingbird. Windquest comes in. The group has kind of compressed. Bob passes one boat. Windquest coming into the right gate. Nice takedown here. A really good rounding with Natalie J coming in to the right gate as the final boat. All right, everybody gets to go on. Gets to go where they would like to, as the boat in front of them sometimes dictates their routing. So right now we see the lead boats wanting to go upwind right, Katana leading the Wizard and the Heartbreaker. Prospector tacks over fine, trying to get back to the right after just a little short gain on the left. We will see you guys at the weather mark. Out. So this beat now has gone, basically the rich kind of got richer and the back kind of has compressed. Kind of did a great job of just kind of stepping out on the whole fleet as she approaches the weather mark. And you can probably see from your view that the group is far behind. She has done a great job, stayed in phase, and put a huge distance on the pack. But now the pack is pretty compressed up. Mockingbird has caught up or very close to the Wizard. A really good gains have come from the right, as WinQuest also has gained from the right, and a little bit has the Natalie J. Prospector coming in from the left. In the pack, but definitely not in that position that she was at the Leeward mark. The right, the right has just come in over the left. Katana sets her chute. Very straightforward, proper set. And she'll kind of lead her way all the way down. She's 300 yards ahead, 400 yards ahead, a great place to be. The breeze is consistent enough that you don't have to worry about it stopping and shifting to the other direction. The next coming in is the Mockingbird with the Prospector comes just behind. Bob Hughes, who had a great run, hit the right pretty hard, and it has kind of backfired on him, and he's fighting it out as these back three boats paid the penalty of being over early, and they are still the back three boats, not be able to catch up to the pack. The two boats round the weather mark on the way to offset, and Prospector follows close behind. Chutes are ready to go up on the Wizard. The Askews have been big ocean racers for years with the boats called Wizard and have done a great job, and this is their beginning of their program in the 52 fleet. Chris Duhine in the Mockingbird right behind shoots up. And the WinQuest, there is a Prospector. Larry and Paul, a good race for them. They've had some tough races this series, so this is a good race for them. And WinQuest following right behind with their shoot up. So this pack of four will be kind of an interesting pack to watch down the run, as there's a little separation between those four in the final two boats with the Natalie J and the Heartbreaker. Tough freight for both boats as they were fighting it out for second. It'll be hard for them to get those points back if we only have one race to go. Now jab sets, Indian as we call it, going to the left, downwind left, along with the WinQuest. The boats are beautiful, kind of watching them coming through the water. It would be nice if we could get some clear skies. We'll see you guys at the finish or at the beginning of the next race. Thanks. So at the finish, as we talked about, the Katana wins by a mile, but the whole group has compressed up. And we've seen some slight changes. The Windquest now, for the first time, has a shot at the Prospector. The Mockingbird has come on strong against the Wizard, although it looks like Wizard will take the second place. And then with our handicap system, they will be very close. The downwind left, or upwind right, paid off for the boats that went. The Natalie J, the Windquest, who basically set early and went into that corner. A tough one for Bob Hughes, who went the very opposite way and kind of was on the wrong side of that ship. As they're coming in, we see the finish. It looks like the Mockingbird does beat the Wizard. Wizard finally gets across the line. That's a great play for the Mockingbird. And the Windquest will come in just behind that group. A good comeback for them, considering where they were at the first mark. Prospector's still trying to get in, and Natalie J fighting her way to get into it. It looks like the Prospector crosses, and here comes Natalie J. I can't tell from here, but it looks like Natalie J may have got him. And Bob Hughes comes in. So a really good finish for those back boats who all compressed together, and a couple of good moves made on the downwind left. So until the start of the next race, this is Farley out. That was a 5-minute gun to the start of the last race of the GL52 series. We're right here again on Lake Michigan. Has probably put this regatta away, but there's still a great fight here for second place. We're looking at probably 8 to 9 knots of breeze, no wake, pretty flat water. Everybody's still in their J15s, and now I'll begin the jockey for the start. 4 minutes and 15 seconds to the start. Here we got the weather mark Katana just approaching the top, the last weather mark of the regatta. She set a really good leg as she has a whole regatta, kind of extended on her lead. Just as she approaches the mark. And the two boats behind her have kind of, I'd say, stepped out a little bit. Wizard's done a really good job to probably consolidate to get her place in the second place. They sailed really well coming up, and two good races when they really needed it the most. You can see her approaching in. As always on these second beats, the boats begin to separate. The Prospector hanging in there, which has been great. Good for the class, good for them. We see over to the left, you'll see the Windquest and the Mockingbird side by side as they have been for probably a half a mile. Windquest tacks over. Mockingbird follows. They'll have a short port into the mark, and they won't. Natalie J is well ahead. Probably a disappointing day for Bob Hughes, as coming in this regatta, he was second place on Friday and then tied or just 1 point under second place last night, and just had a disappointing day, which happens out here. When you get 7 really great boats racing, someone's going to come in last. So that's kind of how it is. The Windquest rounds, Mockingbird right behind her, and Bob right behind them. Bob rounds. They all set for the last time of the regatta. Windquest chute is about to go up. Here she goes. A little bit of a twist, which is unusual for this group. Let's see if both boats. Holy smoke. I don't know if Windquest is going to be able to get that out. 2 hourglasses, a great opportunity for Bob Hughes to come in. The Mockingbird gets hers out first. All these boats have little shuttles that go up the headstay, and I noticed that the Windquest did not have hers in the shuttle. This thing is not going to come out. There it goes. Leg. About this group, there's action somewhere on the course. All Staysail's going up. Bob's the first one with his out on Heartbreaker. There goes the Mockingbird, and here comes the Windquest. The Windquest kind of has to understand now that the Mockingbird's past her. She needs to fall in there and hopefully be able to take her on the run as Bob Hughes comes in, and that's a great opportunity to pass both of these boats. Up at the front of the pack, you see that the Katana has jibed over, Wizard has jibed over, Prospector jibed over, going towards the middle of the course for the last run. A little bit of breeze increase, but not much. We're still not seeing any whitecaps. We have a huge spectator fleet out here today. I say huge, maybe 40 boats, 35 boats. Sunny day in Michigan. What else is there to do? Just being facetious. Natalie J jibes out. She's got a good spot there. Big gap between her and the boats behind her, but unfortunately a big gap between her and the boats in front of her. The talent level on these back three boats are unbelievable. The talent that all of these guys have assembled for their crews. So it's the best of the best following out. Oh. We'll see you guys at the finish. Farley out. Where am I? So Katana, as she has done all week, wins the last race in a dominant form, a kind of a schooling to the rest of the class. Right behind her, we're looking at the Wizard, followed by Prospector. It's had her best race in the series so far. All coming in from the downwind right. Back in the back, we still have the Mockingbird WindQuest Heartbreaker battle going on, which is probably the best battle of the whole race going on right now. Mockingbird kind of winning that thing on the way in. It looks like the outlier is going to be WindQuest, so he'll have to come in the back as these guys are laying, and she's a bit overstood. No, they're not laying. They may have one in the end. So there's still a little battle left. I'm pretty sure Mockingbird will try to cut it, will make it in there from there. Chris, who is waiting for a new keel, sailed on his old lady with his old keel as it is stuck somewhere in Italy, and hopefully it'll be here for the next event. Wingfoot's making a great little run here, coming in hot from low below the other two boats. May have a shot at both of them. Chris is going to really take a deep run in, not driving, and looks like just barely does beat the Wingfoot, if at all. It's going to be a photo finish, and Bob comes in the back. So there we go. That is the last race. Again, congratulations to John Yoon and Morgan Larsons and the whole Katana crew. They've sailed a great regatta. We have the two MAC races after this, and then we'll be back for the Regatta at the end of July. And so we hope we see you guys. We hope to see you all there, which will do a better job in taking this the next step forward. Farley out.